Alright, here's an excellent way to use stealing to your advantage. I was going to say using fan fiction to your advantage, but no, never mind that. So, let's say you're a fan of, I don't know, Mortal Kombat, and you're specifically a fan of like the first Mortal Kombat movie. You're going to tell a story of your own in a comic book. Now, you're highly inspired by Mortal Kombat. Your favorite scene in the movie is like Johnny Cage's fight with Scorpion. Okay, cool. You're inspired by it, you want to tell a story, and your idea is to tell a story of a martial artist who comes across an evil sorcerer who's trying to take over the world or invade Earth. And so this martial artist, getting revenge for this sorcerer killing his brother, enters an evil martial arts tournament to get vengeance on the sorcerer and save the Earth. Okay? If that's the idea from your comic, you just stole from Mortal Kombat. Don't do that. Instead, try this. If you're inspired specifically by the Johnny Cage Scorpion fight, what if you was to do something along the lines of your story starts off with a martial artist practicing in a forest. All of a sudden he meets this evil supernatural ninja who attacks him out of thin air. He's in the middle of fighting with this ninja when this ninja suddenly transports him to another dimension and another world that he knows nothing about, and he's having to fight this ninja and navigate through this brand new world that he's in while trying to figure out how he's going to get back home and why is he even here in the first place and why this ninja attacked him. You just created a new story out of the exact scene, or not necessarily exact, but you stole a good chunk of Scorpion's fight with Johnny Cage, but you took that and spent it into a whole new adventure avenue to sort of take from there. You're, in a sense, stealing from the Mortal Kombat movie, but you took something that you were a fan of in the movie and that you liked a whole lot. You took the movie that you were inspired by and you created an entirely new story from that. So essentially, as you start plotting out the details, and as long as you don't name the characters Johnny Cage and Scorpion, but like as you start plotting out the details of the story, like who's the martial artist, why was he training in the forest on this particular day, what was he doing in the forest, maybe he lives there, maybe just for tranquility or something like that, he likes to go out in the forest from time to time and be by himself, maybe the ninja's been watching him for a while and just chose this as his opportunity to strike. Who knows, maybe this could be the ninja's own agenda, or maybe he works for somebody else in this different dimension. You could, like, the possibilities are endless as the story that you can now tell from that little fight scene in the first Mortal Kombat movie. That is an entirely different thing to do than just to look at, hey, I'm a fan of the new Mortal Kombat movie, let me just steal the movie. To actually take a germ of that and turn it completely into something different or something of your own is actually powerful. And it's the difference between you stealing in a way that's taking something that you love and making it your own, and stealing, I'm straight up copying the stuff that I like. Basically, don't always look at it as stealing unless you're taking what you're inspired by verbatim. Like, obviously that's wrong, don't do that, but if you can take it and put a spin on it in some way, shape, or form, then it works. That's one way that I feel like a lot of fan fiction can be beneficial for young writers. Just at some point, stop doing fan fiction and come up with your own stories. And this is the last example I'm gonna give before getting off of here. I watched an interview with Quentin Tarantino recently. Well, I saw it recently, but it's not a recent interview. But Tarantino, outside of just completely bashing Bruce Lee for no reason at all, he talked about how he's been accused of stealing the idea for the movie Reservoir Dogs. He got the idea from, I think it's a Japanese mafia movie. I don't believe that the plot of the movie in any way, shape, or form resembles the movie Reservoir Dogs, except for the final scene. Apparently, Quentin Tarantino took the last scene of that Japanese mafia movie. I believe it's Japanese. Don't hold me to that. But he took the last scene of that mafia movie and he wrote Reservoir Dogs based on that one scene. So he took one part of the movie that he liked and he made an entire world around that one scene and told his own story from it. That's, once again, just using the term for lack of a better term, that's stealing in a way that's productive and turning something that you love and admire into your own thing. There's nothing entirely wrong with that as long as you're able to make what you're doing different from anything else. Remember, everything in this world comes from something. There essentially aren't any new ideas. There are just different people's viewpoints on the same stories that we've all known and loved. As long as you don't tell those same stories the exact way that the people before you have told them. That's my 2 cents. Anyways, I'm done for the day. You all have a good one, and I'm out.